Well, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I've come up to a very moody Glencoe this morning. I went down to the Buckle and the Buckle was absolutely invisible. It was completely covered in clouds. So what I've decided to do is come down to Loch Ba, because there's certain areas around Loch Ba that I've never actually photographed before around this water edge. There's a lot of interesting trees as well around Loch Ba. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us. It's very muddy this morning as I walk down to the loch's edge. If I turn the camera around, we've got quite a bit of spray. It's like a drizzly rain this morning, but I'm kind of hoping that doesn't get in the way. So you get nice wee pops of colour, like those red berries on that tree there. So I'm hoping we might be lucky and we might find a wee bit more. Anyway, we'll keep walking and let's see what we can find. Right, this could be one of these mornings where there's just that constant drizzle and be absolutely drenched by the time I finished. But I tried to walk along the edge of the shore, but I can't get past. There's an outlet there of water and it's really wide and I can't get across. So what I'm going to do is walk my way around the edge of the loch and walk my way back to the other side towards the trees. But as I'm walking, I've noticed I've got this nice wee composition here. We've got this cluster of rocks with the long grasses, and then the way that I'm framing it, I've got this cluster of rock here, and then on above the top third, which has been cropped by the video here, there's the little island. So what I'm also doing is I've got a f13 and I'm using a 1/5 of a second shutter speed just to slow the water down, and I'm shooting at ISO 100. So I'll take a couple of shots here, I'll do a landscape and then I'll do a panoramic so that the rocks become the focal point. I might go a wee bit lower and see if I can get a lower shot of the rocks, just so that there's not too much space between the rock and the islands, and I'll get a lower elevation and see if that works. And if any of these images turn out, I'll share them with you now. Right, so I've stopped. So I've got a wee dilemma here because I've got these rocks in front of me. I've got an island in the middle of my scene, and then I've got another island in the background. But I'm going to share with you what my dilemma is. So the dilemma is I've got these rocks at the bottom, I've got this big space here, I've got the island, and then I've got a gap of water, and then I've got the island in the background. So I've got, for me, I've got probably too much separation here, but I've got enough separation there. If I go lower, then I'm going to lose the separation between the island, and then what will happen is if I go low, that island will overlap with that island, and that island will overlap with that island, and then that outlet will overlap with that island. So I'm having to take this shot from a higher elevation. So what I'll do is I will take the shot, and if it turns out, I'll share that with you. I mean, it's a real dull, cloudy, drizzly morning. So I'm hoping a lot of these images will be atmospheric. Anyway, if that works out, I'll share that image with you now. As I keep walking round, I'm looking to try and get as much out of the scene as I possibly can, but I'm also conscious of the kind of separation that I would need and the gaps that I've got in the water. So I'm going to move to the edge of this wee island, or this outlet of land. I don't know if I'll be able to walk across to that wee island here right in front of me because I don't know how deep it is. But we'll go and check it out. As ever, as I was walking past, I spotted these 3 trees and the reflection in the water in front of me. And there's an old boating shed. But what I've tried to do is move around so that the boating shed is under the branches of the tree. So the boating shed's there, the tree branches arching over the boating shed, and I've got this beautiful reflection with the three trees. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 different images. I'll take a wide image and I'll take a close-up image, and if those work out, I'll share them with you. Then we'll move on. Alright, so I've reached this little island and I can look back. That actually might be quite a nice image with all these rocks there, but I'll have a wee look around. There's our 3 trees again. Right, I'll scout for a wee area where I get a nice composition. Alright, so I have quite a cool wee composition here. So I've got, just to share with you what I've done is I've put my lens hood on because there's still a lot of spray for the rain that's coming. It's like a soft drizzle, and it's coming and going in the wind, and the wind's started to pick up. So I might have to look at using an ND, maybe 1000 filter to slow the water down. I'll do that anyway, just to see how it looks later on. But the composition I've got here is I've got these rocks, and I'm using a landscape and a portrait format because I'm going to use these rocks as foreground interest, shooting towards a different angle to those 3 trees that we shot earlier. So what I'll do is I'll play about with this, because a lot of the rocks, too much rocks, can be distracting. Just to make sure I can try and compensate as much as I can and reduce the amount of rocks that are in my scene. But it's nature, you can't avoid it. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 images and then I'll share these images with you now. Right, so what I've done is I've come into the middle, well, not the middle of the water, but I want to get these rocks in a central location. And again, from a separation point of view, I don't want that rock or those heathers touching the banking on the other side. So I've got that gap of water between that heather and that banking there. And then we've got a natural flow from left to right. And then we've got that island in the middle. So there's just a wee bit of water above that island before you see the back island. And then we've got the fishing hut or the fishing boats in the back of the image and the way in the horizon. So I'm shooting at 1/6 of a second, f/16 and ISO 100. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 different shots here. I'm going to zoom in, I'll zoom out, and then when I've finished, I'll share these images with you. Right, I've got a location at the edge of the wee island where I've got these 2 little islands, and then we've got the land in the background. There's a lot of water here, but this would be quite a nice envelope style 16:9 image potentially. Now I am using the ND 1000 filter, so it's a 10 stop, and what I'm having to do is I put the hood cover on so that the lens filter doesn't catch the spray. But I've set up my timer on the camera because I've got a bulb timer built into the camera. So I've set it for 50 minutes with ND just because of the light that we've got. And then that's taking my images. So I'm going to take 2 images. I'm going to do a brightish image for the islands, so I bring up the vibrancy, the browns and the yellows that are in there, and I'm going to do a darker image because of the sky, because it needs to be moody, and then I'll merge the 2 together. Because I'm using the long shutter speed, all the water will be smoothed out. That's the plan. So if this image works, here's the image now. Right, so I've just turned the camera around because we've got a series of rocks and I've lowered the camera just so I could reduce the amount of separation in the water between the rocks. Well, each rocks, because we've got about 3 or 4 layers, then the island, and then the other island, and I also want to catch the trees. So I've got my ND filter on, I've got about 45 seconds set up at f11, and the water is so smooth. Oh, that's really nice. Right, well, I'm pleased with that. I'll share that image with you now. Right, I've got a composition here where I'm going to take a shot of this little island here and shoot back towards the Blackmount Mountains, because the sky above the Blackmount is really nice, although with a long shutter speed it could be quite smooth. But we'll give it a wee try, and then what I might do is take a faster shutter speed for the sky and then bring them together, if I need it as an option, but I'll do that. Now after here we'll head back and we'll try and head over the other side, because I've seen some nice trees with red berries that might make some interesting images. So I've managed to get across the road because I've seen these kind of red berryish trees, but the background is amazing. So I've got the 3 trees in the frame, and I've made sure I've left space for that tree in the middle. And then we've got the river coming down from right to left, and then we've got this amazing atmosphere and the Blackmount Mountains in the back. It's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to take my time, I'm going to take 2 or 3 images here, and I'm going to try and do this justice, because there's a lot of rain clouds in the background that I want to make sure that I capture, and that adds mood to my image. So I'll take these images and I'll share these images with you now. Right, I've walked over to the other side of those red berried trees. There's another red berry tree here. I'm going to see if I can do or get an image with that. It's a bit tight because of where I'm standing. So I've also spotted another composition where I've got this beautiful warm foreground, and then we've got the trees all lined up, and then we've got this little tuft of kind of wee island there. So I need to go to higher elevation so I can make sure I've got separation at the bottom. I'm going to try and get these images, and if any of these images work, I'll share them with you now. Okay, so apologies, I don't know what happened with the mic, but I'm just explaining that I took some photographs at the edge below the hill, and now I'm concentrating on taking photographs of this lone berry tree. So hope you enjoy the images. Alright, so here again, mic problems. I'm taking shots from a higher elevation of the tree with all the berries on it, but I'm trying to get the wider landscape image in, so we've got the cloudy, misty Blackmount mountain range in the background, and as you can see the wind is picking up and getting stronger. So here are the images, and I hope you like them. Well, the wind's got stronger and stronger, the drizzle's getting heavier, so I think it's time to finish the video here. So thanks very much for watching. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that will let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.